I'm just going handheld for a minute just to show you something. I've had that for a while and I've just mounted it there on a wall mount. It's an Android tablet. Right now it's connected to this GoPro. It's quite useful. It does a lot of other things apart from this. We'll disable that. Got ChatGPT, which is voice operated.
Welcome back. If you've got something new on your mind or just want to pick up where we left off, I'm ready. What's next for you?
Give me a concise answer, please. I've got a 5-inch sine bar. I've got a metric gauge block set, 83 pieces. Give me a stack of gauge blocks that will provide an angle of 3.2 degrees.
For a 5-inch sine bar at 3.2 degrees, you need a height of roughly 7.01 millimeters. To reach that, you can stack something like 7.00 millimeters plus a 0.01 millimeter block. That combination will produce a near exact angle.
Okay.
If another angle or a different setup comes up, we'll calculate again with precision. Just let me know.
So yeah, voice activated, gives you the answers that you need. Well, I thought it was pretty cool anyway. I'd initially got this, let me just turn this around, hopefully without it falling off. Okay. Yeah, I'd initially got this for running touch DRO, but in the end I changed my mind and got the MDRO set up, mainly because there was no real advantage on a lathe for touch DRO. There is, I think, for a mill. It gives you a few extra functions, but on a lathe it's really not offering anything else, and you would have had to supply your own scales and then buy the interface box as well, and I think there's a premium for the actual app as well. So in the end I decided not to do it, but yeah, useful addition. You can still get in my cupboard. And the aforementioned sine bar fits nicely in there. Because I have some electronic bits and pieces like that tablet and batteries that need charging and keyboard that needs charging, I've added a charging station over this side of the bench. I mean, I've got them over that side as well, but yeah, I don't want wires stringing across the middle of the workshop. So I added this. It's an 8-port charging thing. It's up to 240 watts, I believe. That was the only place I could put it. Cables can run along here. Only issue was the top has some ventilation slots, so I didn't want any crap going down it, particularly metal dust. So I made a plate to go over the top with a gap for air flow, and that'll stop anything going down it. It's a sabrent something or other. Where the paperwork's gone. Oh yeah, there it is. That one. Seem to have got pretty reasonable reviews. I've also stocked up on some of my favourite boring and threading tools, small sizes, and these are solid carbide, so threading tools, boring tools. The threading tools, these miniature solid carbide tool bits, which go into these holders. A couple of spare ones of those. Can't get that one out. So what size is that? 6mm radius 0.2, length 30mm. So these are really for small work, and keep a couple of these in the holders. So this is the 6mm one. There's a homemade high-speed steel one, somewhat larger. They're quite reasonably priced, these things. I mean, they're about, I don't know, 5 or 6 quid each, something like that. The only problem is, if you do break it, then you're stuffed, basically. You can't really re-grind it if it's broken. But also, I use the same type of tool as boring tools. These are just spare ones. I've got up to 8mm shank. That's the biggest I've got, this type. Lots of different sizes. You can bore pretty small holes with these things, down to about 3mm. For external threading, I use these, which is indexable, vertically mounted threading tool. I find this is really good. It's very stiff, and it's easy to get up to a shoulder with it. So that's my collection of miniature carbide tooling.